Hello and welcome back to Songs of Six. Oh man, I'm very excited. For Songs of Six a little bit. There's a new update on the way. I mention it a lot. So this whole city's gonna be gone, and everything that I've done and it will be gone. And all of my little gimmicks of selling specific things. Although I think I'm playing it the dev way, the specific way, kind of how they want you to do it. So maybe that won't change, and I will go over that in a minute. But I'm also excited about Exanima. They got a new update, and if you guys are unfamiliar, that is the first game I played on this channel. I'm pretty sure that was like the first video I put out was Exanima videos. If not, it was songs. One of those two are the first game I ever played on this channel. So they hold a special place in my heart for this world, and especially the channel, because I just love their aesthetics. I love dark fantasies. I love realistic combat. I love things that require you to do a little bit more. Look at that bread, man. Although I'd argue Songs of Six is pretty easy for me. I've seen a few commenters, a few different people say that they experience a few different issues on, I guess I'd say maybe military, probably food, maybe money, something about happiness. I don't know. I haven't gotten any specifics. I just seem to see people say that they get trapped at around 800 to 2k, and their population just starts to eat shit and die. And I can fully understand that. Where I'm at right now is kind of like a pretty decent level. Like, we've got 2.8k citizens. That means we have 190 slaves and 2,600 people, roughly, making it 2.8k. They eat a lot of bread. We have space for 15 days of bread, and we have these two big ass warehouses storing all of the food for them. But that's still not enough, and I'm gonna have to create like an actual import area, something in here. I also want to start growing my own herbs and grain, so that I can make bread. And am I exporting grain? No, good. So we have some. We should make sure that we're not exporting any of our excess herbs, and we'll pick some in the fields, and then we'll use that. Should have some out here somewhere, right here. We'll use this to make rations. Yeah, like that. Those guys will go pick that this year, and we'll add that to our collection. But specifically what I do is kind of hard to say. It almost feels like I'm cheating in a way, and I promise you I'm not. You would see like an X up here for the dev build. And there's one mistake when I was playing with the dev build armies where I accidentally left it on. And you can see if you hover over something, it'll say like, let's see, you gotta find like an item and stuff. You'll see like specifically like bread, and then it'll say like admin code after it if it's the actual dev mode. So dev mode is just cheating if you wanted to play with the mechanics of it and see how it worked, but I really don't know how to make it work. I look at the example cities. Whenever the dev releases a new update, he has example cities. I don't know if they're cities that are from the community or if they're cities that he makes himself, but they are pretty extravagant, and this is based off of one of them. So when I looked at them, they kind of had their centralized import and export depots, which I have here. It's kind of central, but not really. This half of the city is way over here, and there's nobody over here. But that's going to change in a little bit, because this is all going to get populated right here. It's all going to be people. And we're going to try to keep the trees in here. So we'll populate here, here, and here. But we'll leave the trees, because the trees are really vital. But we do have more. And we have a lot down here too. So we're going to try not to cover up too much of those. But if you're new, and this is like you're at 800 people, if you have the carpenter going, a smelter of some sort, or you're importing iron and coal and you're making it into weapons, as long as you have the barter boost. I don't believe if you don't have the barter boost. I think it's in my status titles. So I have the Master of Bargains, the Negotiator. I did not choose Leader, I don't think, this time. Although I have it active, I could get it. And by loading in the example cities, the dev just gives you those because you technically made the city. You're playing it in non-dev mode. It's an interesting thing. That's how I got them from the start. That's how I've always gotten it. And I recommend it in every series. I tell people to go load an example city and you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyways, that is the most jibber jabber I want to do in the beginning of one of these videos ever. I will see you in a minute. I have some great plans for this episode. Like I said, I'm going to be building out here, doing a bunch of stuff, just trying to expand population centers, giving more food, more populace, just doing everything to make more money. I'll see you all in a moment. Alright, brothers, I am back, and as you can see, we have a new import and export depot. We've got the warehouse for goods on the left, and the bread warehouse on the right. If we have any other spare food, we'll probably put it over on the right. We've also got these guys. So we've got livestock transporting goods like iron and coal across the city to their places they need to be, and filling up the warehouses so that they're filled to the brim with bread here and iron and coal here. When I get coal, I don't really... Coal is hard to get. Coal is something that I struggle to hold because we're just using it so quickly. So I'm going to have to focus on that in the next episode. I'm not going to focus on that in this one because I focused a lot on trying to get our clothing, our rations, and our drinks kind of up there by getting our export depots and import depots fixed. And we also built this nice ration maker on the far left here. We have 50 ration makers working here. We've got tons and tons of meat stored and herbs, which they should be grabbing. And we've also got a few farms over here. We've got an herb farm, a small herb farm, which I used to get the big herb farm, and a small vegetable farm. I have the populace not eating vegetables, but they do pull them to canteens pretty quickly, so I'm going to have to turn that off in the next one so that we can actually accumulate some vegetables, make a larger vegetable field, and produce Crotonians. You can see I have 862 humans. I also put these little houses in here. These are for... Excuse me, these are for slaves. Will that be slaves? And I've got this here human nursery. We've got 60 babies being made every 12 days or so. Roughly every 14 days we have new humans coming in. If I'm right. The last time I checked we had like 700 and something. Now we are at like 862. So we're growing. We have more humans. They are native to this populace, which makes them happy. And we have 12,000 or 1,200 Dundarians. Sorry, not 12,000. That'd be insane. I also spent some time building this eatery, lavatory, janitor, and putting this hauler here for fruits. I've always put haulers in front of nurseries or whatever breeder they are, because the food will get eaten up and taken to other jobs first, but if it's sitting here, it's not considered part of your inventory. So I have 1K total, but this 640 is not counted. So that is useful. We're also exporting every single thing that we are getting, and I ran kind of short on money. We were at like 6K, but when I built this, it took a little bit for all our guys to get used to where it was. So we have exports for all of the main products like livestock, cotton, what is that? Wow, leather, opiates, furniture, jewelry, etc., etc. And it's kind of better to be on this side of the city anyways, because they take a little while to bring it. And so you'll see, like, I've got 30 jewels for sale right now at 858. Normally I'm selling 12 because it's so close. That was right here before. They are still trying to get all that bread over there. Get it moved to where it's supposed to go. We have a lot of bread that was kind of sitting in these two warehouses right here, and I moved it all. I wanted them to fix that real quick. I moved all of the stuff that was in here. So we had a hospital and we had a asylum. The asylums are now on the farthest corner of the map, so that I don't have to ever think about these fucking assholes. I honestly don't like the deranged mechanic. I think that it's kind of cumbersome and it ruins the overall experience, especially when you have humans and Gritonians freezing to death. You have 1.1k clothing. Everyone has access to clothing. Basically, you have to go like this and give them 4 fucking clothing apiece. Kind of similar to how you give them armor and it stacks on them. They're only wearing like 1 pair of clothing. They want to wear like layers. I don't have that kind of money right now. I'm still working on it, god damn it. And when I do have that money, they're not getting it anyways. Fuck them. I'm going to spend it all on goods. I don't know what kind of goods I need, but I'll spend it on myself. Most of what I've spent my money on in this particular episode is just stones. A lot of the money I was losing is because I wasn't selling any cut stone at all. I was just using it and I was buying up more stone. So one of our key trade, do I not have an export depot for cut stone? No, I do not. One of our key trades here is exporting cut stone. Yeah, I did not put export cut stone. And I have guys, they're hauling, there's 20 of them. They're hauling things like meat, leather, etc. and they're filling the warehouse here. And I'm going to have, I think I'm going to put the transports in now. So if I put transports in from here, these guys will bring the weapons and armor from here up the road to the warehouses over there and sell them. I'd really like to get arms and weapons moving over there. This warehouse, it doesn't bother me if it's not completely full because this is our storage. All the weapons and armor are stored there, and if we have to fight anybody, we'll send our army back here to get them. And speaking of which, I actually want to probably do this. And then I'm going to dig out like a huge swath of space right here, so that when our army comes in, they can quickly get equipped and fight, giving them some space. But yeah, other than that, our economy is doing pretty good. I think that I import way more than I need to, and I don't export things like gems, which could really help me and give me money like I was supposed to be from the start. But pretty soon I'm going to be starting to make bread. I'm going to make some bakers. That's the next goal. We're going to remove this half of the city. We're going to turn some new paper makers. We're going to make some new bakers, and we're going to put them in the mountains. Maybe, if we have space, actually. I don't think we have much space left. I might put them over here, actually. And have some grain farms out in this area, out in the, like, open area. I also bought about probably 40 slaves, 50 slaves this episode, because I'm trying to get ready for the future. And I know that sounds horrible, and I hate saying it, but it's part of the game's mechanics, so I'm sorry. You know what I mean? We got this guy going here. And we're gonna have this guy Which one? You have the weapons. You're gonna have the armor. And we're gonna put him going there. So now if I look, this guy here, he's tending to the animal. He's organizing. He's kind of like putting the saddle in all this stuff or whatever, the reins on it. And then eventually he'll go over here and just start grabbing loads of equipment. He'll put it on here, and then they'll carry 250 a piece up to here. Won't take them very long, but individually it's taking them a lot longer to grab that weapon and armor. We're selling anything above 350, or sorry, 3,500. 350 would be really crazy. So roughly, if he fills that with 250 armor and brings it up here by the end of a day or so, and we're making that much per day, we'll be doing pretty good. We'll start to see a huge increase in money. And if I look at my thing, at the beginning I had like 140k. I got up to like 250k. I've upgraded everything. We're making 150% bonus on bartering, 300% maintenance, 300% spoilage rate. So these are rates that make it even stronger. I've upped the gems. Workplace safety really hasn't been an issue. The only ones who get injured are hunters, which is funny. We don't really get injured doing mining. Carpentry specialization, I upped our army. I upped farming and livestock. I upped ration making and jewelry, as well as the masons. So a lot of stuff got boosted. A lot of things that you guys don't see are happening behind the scenes, and I'm planning constantly the next step. So for the next goal, we're gonna have to remove this area and remove this area, or rather just fix it, because you can see I've got this area. I kind of just want to upgrade these houses. I'll move these guys, but I just needed to put some houses in there for right now so they'd stop crying. And I will put more in here because this is the least fertile area. I'm gonna dig out this area, and hopefully we'll have a nice little fertile valley of food production and orc pastures. I'd say probably this will just be enteldotes and oryx and stuff, and then another 2 fruit orchards or 3. We'll move the herb farm over here, I think, because the reasoning is that this is a good place for all of the tilappies to live. We'll have all the tilappies live right here, and they do both those jobs. Then we'll have all of our Garthimes living here, and we'll have some more living in here so that we can have them mining. Probably put them living up in here, mining in here. Wow, that's very fertile. I think that actually affects the area for mushrooms, but I'm never going to ever grow mushrooms in this game in my life, because you grow like 40 for the space of this right here, and they eat all 40 in like 2 seconds. It sucks to suck. But I think that's about it for this episode, as I've been going for a long time, probably a few hours now, and I am excited for the next one. Gotta give my weary fiend brain a rest. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.